If this video has found you today, it's not by accident. It's a divine appointment. You've been walking through life feeling deeply, absorbing emotions, sensing energies, and often carrying burdens that aren't yours. You've been labeled as an empath, a highly sensitive person. But what if there's more? What if your sensitivity is just the surface of a profound spiritual calling? Today, we delve into the 1% truth that's often overlooked. You might be a chosen one, not just an empath. Let's take a moment to go back, to the very beginning of your spiritual awareness. Before you ever knew words like empath. Before you understood energy or frequency or spiritual awakening. You just felt. As a child, you might have cried for reasons no one could explain. You'd pick up on the tension in a room before anyone spoke. You sensed when someone was smiling but hurting underneath. You knew when people were lying, even if their words said the right things. And the adults around you? They might have said, "You're too sensitive. You're overreacting. You worry too much. Stop taking everything so personally." But what they didn't understand is that you weren't reacting to what was said, you were responding to what was real. You were never too emotional. You were spiritually awake. You've likely spent years carrying emotions that didn't belong to you. You'd go to school or work feeling fine, but within minutes feel heavy, anxious, off. You'd ask yourself, "What's wrong with me?" But the truth is, nothing was wrong with you. You were simply picking up on the emotional residue around you. You were feeling what others had learned to ignore. And in a world that numbs and distracts, your empathy has always been both a blessing and a burden. Being an empath means that your heart walks into every room first. It means you don't just see tears, you feel them forming. You don't just hear someone say, "I'm fine." You know the storm they're hiding. You notice the subtle changes. You feel the energy shift when someone's being fake. You hear what's not being said. And let's be honest, sometimes it's exhausting. You've probably had moments when you just needed to escape. To turn off the noise. To be alone, not because you hate people, but because you feel everything they bring. You've probably cried yourself to sleep, not just for your pain, but for the pain of your family, your community, even the world. Empathy, when not understood, can feel like a curse. Like you're drowning in everyone else's emotions. Like you don't know where their energy ends, and yours begins. And yet, here's the sacred truth. Empathy is not weakness. It is wisdom in disguise. You were never meant to just feel. You were meant to discern. Your heart didn't break because you're fragile. It broke because it was being stretched to hold more light than most people will ever understand. You didn't crumble under pressure. You absorbed what others refused to deal with, without recognition, without thanks. And through it all, you still loved. You still showed up. You still kept your heart open when the world tried to harden it. But here's where the plot thickens. The world may have called you an empath, a sensitive soul, a feeler, a healer. But I want to ask you something deeper. What if that's just one layer of your identity? What if empathy wasn't the end of your journey, but the beginning of a spiritual initiation? Because here's the divine whisper. God doesn't give this level of sensitivity to just anyone. He gives it to those who will do something with it. Not just absorb pain, but transform it. Not just feel deeply, but see prophetically. Not just survive emotional depth, but lead others through it. You see, being an empath might have been your introduction to yourself. But it is not your final title. It was the first clue. The first doorway. The spiritual signal that you were different. But difference alone doesn't define a chosen one. What defines a chosen one is what they do with that difference. So as we move deeper into this message, let this truth settle into your soul. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not crazy. You've simply been feeling on frequencies the world doesn't understand. And if your heart is still tender, if your soul still aches with empathy, it means your light has not gone out. It means you're ready. Not just to feel anymore, but to rise, to lead, to awaken others, to step into what you were always meant to become. not just an empath, a chosen one. Let's begin with a sacred pause. Not a dramatic moment, but a divine one. Because what you're about to hear, what you're about to remember, is not just knowledge. It's activation. It's a frequency, not just a fact. And the deeper part of you, your spirit, not your mind, already knows it. Let's talk about the 1% truth. The truth that most never hear, and even fewer dare to speak. Because the world likes its labels neat. It likes its definitions safe and simple. If you feel deeply, they call you an empath. If you dream vividly, they call you creative. If you hear things before they're said, they say you're paranoid. If you see through people, they say you're judgmental. But none of those words fit you. Because you were never meant to be understood by this world's language. Here's the 1% truth. You are not just feeling emotion. You are translating energy. And you're not just translating energy, you're receiving divine intelligence. Empathy was only the first layer. It was the gentle whisper. But beneath that ache, that sensitivity, that knowing, there's sacred code. Let me put it this way. When you walk into a room and instantly feel tension. When someone smiles, but your body goes cold. When you say, I don't know why, but something's off. That's not just emotional sensitivity. That's energetic clarity. That's spiritual radar. That's the gift of discernment. And discernment is not emotional, it's divine. The 1% truth is this. Empathy is the outer shell. Chosenness is the hidden core. You've been walking around calling yourself an empath. When in reality, you've been a seer. A spiritual decoder. A light carrier sent into dense places. You've been navigating realms you were never trained to understand, because your spirit was already equipped for it. You've been diagnosing spiritual sickness in others just by being in their presence. You've been absorbing not just feelings, but frequencies. Sensing timelines. Reading soul contracts. And awakening dormant codes in people with just your presence. This is the truth they don't teach you in books. It's too rare. Too real. Too sacred. But here's the part that will shake your soul. If you've been misunderstood most of your life, if people have called you too much, too intense, too emotional, it's not because you're broken. It's because your energy is too pure for the programmed. You are not here to blend in. You are here to break patterns, to pierce illusions, to call people back to their soul. That's not what an average empath does. That's what a chosen one is built to do. And that's why life hasn't been easy for you. Because the path of the chosen isn't marked by comfort. It's marked by spiritual turbulence. You've felt emotional storms without knowing where they came from. You've had sudden anxiety in safe places. You've woken up in the middle of the night gasping, crying, praying. Not because you're unstable, but because you were receiving energy from beyond this realm. Your nervous system has been your divine antenna. Your intuition? A direct line to source. And your sensitivity? Not a disorder. Not a flaw. It's a map, guiding you to your assignment. The 1% truth? You are multidimensional. You're not just navigating this physical life. You're tuning into things others don't even see. You dream about events before they happen. You feel when someone's lying to you, even when they believe their own lies. You don't just pick up energy. You mirror it back. You transmute it. You alchemize it. That's not empathy. That's spiritual mastery in disguise. And now, let me tell you what scares darkness the most about you. It's not your kindness. It's not your intuition. It's not even your light. It's your ability to awaken people without saying a word. You enter a space, and things shift. You say one sentence, and someone remembers their truth. You just exist, and the masks start falling off around you. That is the sacred burden of the chosen. To be a walking reminder of what this world forgot. You want to know why your journey has been so painful? Because your calling is so rare. You've been broken, not because you were weak, but because heaven was reshaping your vessel. You've been hurt by people who didn't know how to hold your light, because they had never faced their own. You've been rejected, so you would finally turn inward, where the truth never leaves. Empathy was the introduction. Your pain was the initiation. And your remembering is the revelation. You are here to be more than a healer. You are here to awaken others to the healer in themselves. You are not here to just absorb pain. You are here to alchemize it into power. You are not here to explain yourself. You are here to embody truth so loudly, the lies start to tremble. You are not here to be drained by darkness. You are here to walk in so much God-given clarity that darkness cannot breathe near you. So if you've ever whispered to yourself, "I feel like I was meant for something bigger. I just know I'm not like the rest. I'm tired of carrying this alone," that whisper wasn't your ego. It was your assignment waking up. And now, you don't need permission. You don't need another sign. You don't need validation. Because you already are what you've been searching for. A chosen one. Not just an empath. Chosen ones are individuals selected by the divine to fulfill a specific purpose. They are spiritual warriors, healers of generational wounds, bearers of light in dark places. They often experience early life challenges that forge resilience, periods of isolation for spiritual growth, a persistent inner voice guiding them toward their mission. Being a chosen one is not about superiority, it's about responsibility. Heightened intuition, you're receiving messages through dreams, synchronicities, and gut feelings. Emotional transmutation, you're not just feeling others' emotions, you're transforming them. Purposeful isolation, you're being pulled away from certain people or environments to focus on your mission. Spiritual downloads, you're gaining insights that feel divinely inspired. Magnetic presence, people are drawn to you for guidance, even without knowing why. Stepping into your role requires self-acceptance, embrace your unique path without comparison. Spiritual discipline, cultivate practices that strengthen your connection to the divine. Service, use your gifts to uplift and heal others. Remember, the journey of a chosen one is not easy, but it is profoundly fulfilling. As a chosen one, your impact ripples beyond your immediate surroundings. You break generational curses, inspire transformation in others, anchor light in times of darkness. Your journey is a beacon for others seeking their path. If this message resonates, it's because your soul recognizes the truth. You are more than an empath. You are a chosen one. Embrace your calling. Step into your power. Fulfill your divine assignment. If this message cracks something open inside you, if you cried, nodded, or felt a deep yes in your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video. Comment, "I'm chosen," below. Subscribe if you're ready to walk in your divine identity. Remember this. You're not too sensitive. You're too powerful to be asleep any longer. Welcome to your real identity. Welcome to the 1% truth. You are a chosen one. And now you know. And you can support the channel through the link in the channel's bio. Even your $1 is very precious for me and this channel. Your kindness helps us continue spreading light and love. God bless you.